Offered the following amendment with title amendment, barcode 103441. Remove lines 657 through 688 and insert an amendment.
Representative Eskamani, you recognized to explain your amendment.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I hope to make my sad trombone a happy one, because this amendment has to do with climate change. And so to quote a CEO of Renaissance Re Holdings Ltd, climate change is both an existential threat to the planet and an imminent risk to our industry. And this is one of several quotes shared by insurance company CEOs, both in the United States and globally, including those who work in the reinsurance market, that climate change is a major reason why costs are going up. In fact, another chairman and CEO told during a company earning call that part of that is a reflection of revised views given climate change, and that it's pretty universally recognized by good underwriters and model changes that drive inflation and loss costs. Unfortunately, as we heard during Q&A, this bill does not integrate any of the realities of climate change and how that has impacted the costs for consumers in our state and the cost of reinsurance globally. These companies are calculating that risk and charging more to Floridians who live in areas that are prone to be more negatively impacted by climate change. But at this point in our state, everyone is impacted, just at different degrees. And so what this amendment does is it requires the state to collect data and OIR to provide recommendations to us, the legislature, to combat that risk, to keep costs down. It's one thing that companies are collecting this information, but we want to know what companies are collecting so we can help inform policy decisions here. Because here's the deal. Companies know that climate change is real, so they're charging more because of it. We're not doing anything. But if we took action, it could help reduce the risk that these companies are calculating. And that is the amendment, Mr. Speaker.
Are there questions on the amendment? Are there questions? Seeing none, are there amendments to the amendment?
None on the desk, Mr. Speaker.
Are there substitute amendments?
None on the desk, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Trumbull, you recognize in debate.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Members, insurance companies already do this today when building their actuarial rates. I believe this amendment is unnecessary and ask that you do not support it.
Additional debate, members. Additional debate. Representative Eskamani, you recognize to close.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. And I agree with the chair that insurance companies are already doing this. The problem is that they're doing this and they're increasing rates because of what they know. My intention is for us to take that information and to also produce our own information so we can take legislative action. So when insurance companies are calculating risk, they see us taking these concerns seriously, and that mitigates risk, that reduces risk, and thus reduce cost. And so this is not something we just can put our hands up about, y'all. Like, climate change is here, it's happening. We're seeing more severe storms, we're seeing sea level rise, we're seeing fires in the state of Florida, and that impacts our ability to not only keep our people safe, but to have coverage that is affordable. Because again, this is impacting reinsurance and insurance rates. The companies are super transparent about that in their earnings calls, that this is leading them to increased costs, which get passed down to consumers. I'm saying, as a state, let's take action on those realities and help reduce costs. And that's why this amendment really is necessary. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.